And joining us live on this special program on Virat Kohli, two former world champions in Robin Uthappa as well as Sunny Gavaskar. Now, Robin, let me start with you on this one. Couldn't have asked for a better setting. Virat Kohli, playing in front of cricket royalty, of course, playing in front of the man he idolizes, his hero in Sachin Tendulkar, playing in front of his family which is now his adopted hometown of Mumbai. Perfect setting for Virat Kohli. The cricketing gods couldn't have written a better script.
Stuff of dreams. I think anyone who's ever played cricket, would have never thought or would have never dreamed, in fact, that they could ever go past Sachin Tendulkar. Like, I can't imagine Virat thinking when he was a youngster that he would go past Sachin Tendulkar. But somewhere along the way, that belief must have come in. But to be able to do that at Paji's home venue, in front of him, in front of his wife, at the World Cup stage in a semi-final must-win game, it is, there are certain gifts from God that you get from time to time, and this certainly is one of those for Virat Kohli, and I'm certain he's going to appreciate this very, very much.
All right, we've also got Sunny Gavaskar with us. Sunny, the same question I'm going to throw to you. Couldn't have asked for a better picture-perfect setting. You were there at the ground. Just tell us that moment when this was achieved.
Absolutely. To do it in front of your family, to do it in front of the person you have admired throughout your life, to overtake his record, then to get his appreciation, to get his standing ovation, I think that is a real special feeling. It must be absolutely fantastic to be able to do that. And don't forget that by scoring that 50th 100, he's also become the first person in the history of one-day cricket to score 50 centuries. So not only has he gone past his idol's score, but he's also set up a unique record himself.
Robin, just try and explain this particular knock that Virat Kohli played, because he came into this game, he was out to that left-hand spinner versus Netherlands in the last game. And I believe when he came into this game, he put in a lot of hard work. He was batting against a left-arm spinner in the nets ahead of this particular encounter. So clearly, he was totally zoned in. He really wanted to get to that landmark in this particular game, and he did do that. So just tell us about that hard work and the kind of template that he follows, which allows him to be so successful in ODI cricket.
Well, see, his template has never changed. I think the only kind of scare he had was the second ball he faced, and when he got wrapped on the pads and the appeal was not given out. I was like, I really hope he's nicked that, because if he didn't nick that, that looked pretty square. And luckily enough for him, he nicked that. And then from there was no looking back for him. He went back to his template and stuck with it. And just the way he went about his innings, the way he paces his innings is something that has to become a subject in cricket, especially in one-day cricket. And just the way he goes about it. He paces his innings so well, the singles, the twos, just the boundaries he gets, how he rotates the strike after getting a boundary. You see that he scores a boundary, then more often than not, the next 3 or 4 or 5 runs are singles and twos, and then he scores another boundary. Then there are a few more singles and twos, and then another boundary. So he paces his innings really well. He knows that if he plays that certain way, by the time the 40th over comes around, he's going to be well within 100. And then it's just about getting that 100 and kicking on from there. And then the fact that a player of his caliber is going to be that at the back end of the innings is only going to be a huge source of confidence for the rest of the batters around him. When you have a player of Virat Kohli's caliber holding one end up for your team, you know that your team is going to get a big score. And we've seen him do that for over a decade now in T20 cricket, in one-day cricket, which is why he is so successful. And I think just strike rotation, the singles, the twos, holding one end up for the team, those are the things that make him, or the ingredients that make Virat Kohli the superstar that he is.
Talking about legends, we're joined by Sunny Gavaskar as well as Robin Uthappa on this special. And Sunny bhai, to you on this one, hand on your heart, tell us honestly, your first memories of Virat Kohli, when you saw him maybe at the under-19 level or maybe, international cricket, IPL. Did you at that time, you may have thought he'll go on to play international cricket for that long, but did you at that time ever think he'll go past the record of the great Sachin Tendulkar?
No, I didn't. To be perfectly honest, I didn't, because When I first saw him in the IPL, he looked as if he had lots of areas where he needed to tighten up on, particularly around the off stump. He tended to play a little bit across the line. He had a stiff front foot. You could sort of see this. But he's worked hard on his cricket, just like he's worked hard on his fitness. And that is the result that you see. Nobody is a perfect batter. So everybody starts with lots of faults. Even Sachin Tendulkar at the start of his career might have had a few faults, particularly with the way he was pushing around the off stump. But to be able to overcome that and then get the kind of runs that he did is truly praiseworthy.
Okay, that's an honest admission there from Mr. Gavaskar. He never really thought this is, the level or the heights that Virat Kohli will reach. I expect the same from you, Robin. The same question. Your earliest memory, did you ever think he'll go past Sachin Paji's record?
I have a funny incident, not a funny incident, but a story that happened with Virat when I was playing. We were playing together at RCB. At that young age, he believed he was the best. And, this was 2010, and he had just kind of played for India. And, it was funny where he was talking about himself, where he just the level of conviction that he had in himself, from to us listening to him, felt, who's this guy? He seems so arrogant. But there was a fire in him, and in the way he spoke about his conviction in himself, that made us believe that he believed what he was saying. He actually believed it. And, when I think back to that time, I get reminded of, one of Muhammad Ali's quotes where he says, where he talks about, the world believed, I believed how great I am even before the world saw it, and for me, that's what Virat Kohli is. And to epitomize, I think that epitomizes just kind of his mindset with the game. The hunger was always there. He always wanted to be the center of attention. He wanted to be the guy who changes the match, who wins the match with his batting or bowling. Even in the Under-19 World Cup, he bowled quite a bit for that Under-19 Indian team when he led it, and tried to do a lot of things to be able to, be the match winner. And I think that hunger in him has stayed alive even now. And you can see, I agree with Sunny sir, that he worked so much on his game. We felt, he's extremely talented, but we felt that there were gaps in his game, and with that commitment to himself, that he said, okay, I'm going to really work on my fitness. And then he saw the impact that it had on his game, and then after that, to be able to sustain that level of fitness, and then to focus on his own game and to keep improving. And I think he's evidence that no technique is perfect. Everyone's got their limitations within batting techniques, and you need to figure out what those limitations are and work around that. And if you can do it, and master the process, then you will achieve things like Virat Kohli has. And you need to have the hunger as well. You can't take that away.
Okay, that's a very interesting story, Robin. In fact, not just you, I've heard from a few other people. Initially, he had that kind of confidence many thought was bordering on arrogance, but maybe it was not arrogance, it was self-belief, and sometimes misunderstood as arrogance. Maybe he had set himself those targets, and he then had his eyes on those targets, which is why he has reached where he has reached. But Robin Uthappa, Sunny Gavaskar, thank you so much for speaking to India today on this special where we're celebrating Virat Kohli and the landmark that he has reached.